Welcome to This Explainer. I am seriously so excited to have you here today because we're going to visually deconstruct something you really don't see every day. We're looking at this wild intersection between highly advanced machinery and, of all things, stand-up comedy. You know, comedy is usually all about human vulnerability, exposing our flaws to a room full of strangers. But today, we're looking at a very specific vision. We're going to see what happens when a developer decides to give their creation a voice, specifically to share a robot's worries, and puts those anxieties right on the comedy club stage. So, this brings us to a massive question. Can robots actually understand humor? I mean, we know they crunch data, they build cars, they solve insane equations. But can cold metal and code deliver a warm, resonating punchline? To figure this out, we're diving into a super brief but honestly unforgettable performance by a robot named Romion. It's just a 10-second routine, but it totally flips our expectations and shows us exactly how artificial intelligence might navigate the comedy circuit. Section 1. Enter Romion, the mechanical comedian.
Now, what's instantly disarming about Romion is its design, especially from the neck up. Set against that bright red background, you see its face. And it's not some creepy, lifeless mask. Instead, the developers gave Romion these glowing blue pixelated eyes and a gentle little curved smile. It's kinda cute, right? It's super approachable. It's designed specifically to put us at ease, almost mimicking how a human comic smiles to build instant rapport with the crowd.
But here is where it gets crazy. When you look at these two images side by side, the juxtaposition is incredibly jarring. On the right, you've got that friendly, glowing face, but on the left, that's the reality of Romion's physical form. It's a cold, 360-degree, silver mechanical body. You can see the exposed joints, the metal paneling, the rigid posture. It's a machine through and through. The developer deliberately housed this relatable face inside a distinctly robotic shell. And that tension, that clash between friendly and mechanical, that's exactly what sets up the joke. Section 2. The comedy stage. Picture this, an empty microphone stand, bathed in a dramatic, warm spotlight. You've got the classic textured brick wall in the back, a polished wooden stage down below. This whole setup just screams classic comedy club. It's a space that is steeped in human tradition. This is exactly where generations of comics have sweat under the lights, pouring out their insecurities to get a laugh. It comes with some massive, deeply ingrained expectations of human connection. But watch how that tension skyrockets when we actually put our robot in that human space. The contrast here is wild. We have this intimate, relatable setting complete with a glowing neon sign reading Romion Live. You can see the expectant crowd sitting at their tables, clapping and smiling. But what are they looking at? They are staring directly at the static, metallic back of a machine. The vulnerability of that wooden stage is totally at odds with the silver armor of our performer. The stage is set perfectly for these two worlds to collide. Section 3. The robot's worries. So let's look at Romion's actual opening lines on stage. Hello, I'm Romion. Please listen to a robot's worries. It is such a brilliant setup. The developer programs this machine to instantly claim it has human-like anxieties. Right out of the gate, Romion is asking for a sympathetic ear, playing right into our human instinct to listen to someone's troubles. It hooks you immediately, because you're sitting there thinking, wait, what on earth keeps a machine up at night? And then, boom, here's a punchline. If I fall in love, my circuits will short out. It is short, punchy, and absolutely perfect. Why? Because it takes a messy, deeply human emotion, falling in love, and smashes it into a literal, fatal mechanical failure. The developer isn't just writing a standard joke here. They're translating a human existential fear into robotic terms. A human says, if I fall in love, my heart will break. Romion says, if I fall in love, I will suffer a catastrophic electrical failure. It's just a gorgeous piece of writing. Now, you might be wondering, did this actually work in the room? Well, this split-second capture proves that, yeah, it totally landed. Look at Romion on the left. Arms open for a timed comedic gesture, but the face is completely static. Same frozen digital smile. But on the right, look at the woman in the crowd. She is experiencing genuine, full-body physical laughter. That cold, calculated delivery successfully triggered a warm, spontaneous human reaction. The circuitry of the joke worked perfectly. But at the end of the day, Romion is still a robot, and the performance ends exactly how you'd expect a computer program to terminate. Thank you. See you again. No lingering for applause, no milking the laughter, no crowd work. It is this abrupt, wildly efficient conclusion to the set. And honestly, this sudden shift right back to mechanical efficiency beautifully reinforces what Romion is. It actually acts as this subtle secondary punchline, basically reminding the audience, yep, you literally just laughed at a machine. Section 4. Love and short circuits. This direct comparison right here reveals the true engine of why the joke works. Human heartbreak versus a mechanical short circuit. The developer drew a brilliant parallel. For us humans, heartbreak is devastating, right? It stops you in your tracks. It feels like your internal systems are failing. Romion takes that abstract feeling and makes it aggressively literal. For a robot, an energy overload, say the spark of love, would literally fry its hardware. It's funny because it's completely true to the nature of the performer. It is an authentic robot worry. So to wrap our heads around this, the whole performance relies on these amazing layers of contrast. First, you've got the environmental contrast, that warm wooden comedy club versus Romion's cold metal body. Then the thematic contrast, the messy, unpredictable human emotion of love versus a rigidly programmed punchline. And finally, the physical contrast, the genuine, spontaneous physical laughter of the audience clashing with that unmoving digital smile on stage. These elements combine to make this quick 10-second routine an absolute masterpiece of juxtaposition. Which leaves us with this final thought to ponder. If a machine can stand on a wooden stage, talk about short-circuiting, and make a human genuinely laugh out loud, is the day near when machines will truly touch our hearts? Or are they just getting better at simulating the cadence of our vulnerabilities? It's a fascinating look into how developers are bridging the gap between code and comedy. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope this gave you a whole new perspective on the future of humor. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.